Alright, so this is going to be my Last of Us Part 2 review. Um, and I want to state that this is my opinion. I know no one's going to fucking agree with me. That's fine. Absolutely okay. And then we're not going to agree on all the same things, but before I get into this review, I want to say to the people that are attacking other people for giving this game any sort of praise, please fucking stop. It's opinions. Okay, and there's gonna be some praise from me too, because there are things to praise about The Last of Us Part 2, which I will get into. So with that being said, I'm not gonna show any gameplay. If you want to watch gameplay, I'll leave a link in the description to my stream where I streamed The Last of Us Part 2 for 2 hours. You can see where I was praising it and giving it some cons. I'll leave the link to that stream down below. This is me basically talking to you guys, saying how I feel about the game, because the reason why I'm not doing any sort of gameplay is the fact that to the people who just want to know how the game is and they don't want to see any gameplay, they want to experience it for themselves, I'm not going to spoil it for them. So I want to go ahead and just start with the good stuff. The graphics are unbelievably good. This is probably the best looking PS4 game I have ever fucking played. Naughty Dog did the unthinkable, in my opinion. This game just looks absolutely gorgeous from beginning to end, and I honestly thought nothing could look better than Destiny 2, not Destiny 2, but God of War and Days Gone. But man, I was proved wrong. Fucking Last of Us Part 2 looks absolutely stunning. It is probably the best looking PS4 game I own to this day. And there is so much attention to detail in Last of Us Part 2, from, the blood. Blood will run down the fucking wall if you shoot someone against the wall. Blood will run down their wound. If you stab someone, you'll see their cuts bleed. You'll see their stab wounds bleed. You'll see blood splurt out. The snow deformation is realistic. The punches, you actually see where you punched them by them leaving like bruises and all that, which looks really cool. There's so much attention to detail in this game. It's not even funny. The game just looks just so damn good. Sorry if I yawned. I was up on that playing this to beat it. So graphics, fucking unbelievably good. The gameplay is another great thing. I love the combat. I love what the game feels. The game, I didn't experience any frame rate drops from my 36 hours of gameplay. I didn't experience. I experienced maybe one or two bugs. That's about it. Other than that, it was a really smooth, very completed experience. I felt like I got my money's worth just from the graphics and the gameplay alone. The combat feels absolutely fucking brutal. You feel every punch. If you watch my stream again, which I'll leave a link down in the description below, when I was fighting people, I felt like I was there. When you're in these intense chases, especially in one scene in my stream, I felt like I was fucking there. It was intense as shit. It was horrifying. And I got to give them praise for that. That aspect is really fucking good. Really fucking good. The acting as well in this game is just fucking fantastic, especially from Troy Baker, who I know people are mad at him for defending the game, and I get it. But Troy Baker did a fantastic job with his with what he was given. Everyone in this game to me did a fantastic job when it comes to their acting ability. They really showed how well they can act in a video game. Fucking amazing. Um, the setting of Seattle, it looks very gorgeous. There are certain sections where it's kind of free roam. You can walk around, go into abandoned stores, scavenge for loot. That aspect is fucking awesome. It makes me feel like I'm there. I love it, and it's such a cool. It's something I kind of wanted them to do, was like do like certain areas where it's like really open, to walk around in, and you can explore, scavenge, look, like find bits of story, find different characters' backstories, like people who were in the story, get to find out what happened to them, and you'll hear dialogue between the characters you're playing as. It's really well done, and the setting just looks so gorgeous, and the graphics really enhance the setting. Like even for me, just playing this on a base PS4, Jesus, it's stunning. It's fucking stunning. So I've already praised the gameplay, the acting, and the graphics, and the attention to detail and the setting. The cons are the characters and the story. The story is not fucking good. I absolutely hated the story of The Last of Us Part 2. And this is one of the things I was scared about going into the game. This is why I was with the boycott. I already knew the graphics and the gameplay were going to be phenomenal because it's fucking Naughty Dog. That's what they excel at. But what they used to excel at was great storytelling. And it seems with this one, they really put agenda before storytelling. Like after storytelling, they said, you know what, we're going to put agenda here, and then we're going to see how the story goes from here. It really doesn't feel right. There are certain sections of the game that just don't feel right, don't sit well with me, and still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Of course, I'm not going to spoil it, but there are certain things that happen to certain characters, character arcs, fates of characters. They're just not implemented well and not done properly. It's not well written. The script is fucking weak for this game. While the acting is good, the script is so weak. There were elements in the story where I did have fun. There are flashback scenes with Ellie and Joel that are really well done and really tug at your heartstrings. It feels like The Last of Us in those moments. But once you get into the stuff that happens in the present, it falls short because Neil Druckmann only cared about pushing his agenda down gamers' throats. In the characters, they're okay. I still love Ellie. I love Joel. Abby is probably my least favorite character in fucking Naughty Dog history right now. I don't know. She's on the same level as Micah from Red Dead Redemption 2. She's a fucking horrible character. I dislike her in this game. She had no reason to be in this game. If they wanted to make her a villain, don't make her fucking playable. Keep her being the villain. Give us a motive to want to kill this person. Give us a motive. Don't make us I get it. You're trying to make the villain kind of sympathetic. We get it. I understand. There have been plenty of great examples of them doing this where the villain's very sympathetic. Look at Borderlands the pre-sequel. We understand why Handsome Jack did what he did. He was sympathetic in that moment. But Abby, I just don't give a fuck about. If Ellie fucking killed her, I'm not going to give a damn. It's because of how you written her and how you wanted to push this agenda down our throats. The story in this game is possibly the weakest story of any video game in 2020 so far, and yes, that's including Borderlands 3. So this game has a worse story than Borderlands 3. There are moments, like I said, in this game that do feel like The Last of Us, but it's only the moments where it doesn't involve Abby, and it involves Ellie and Joel, and it involves Ellie and her girlfriend. That's the only moments where I'm like, this sort of feels like The Last of Us right now. Especially those moments with Ellie and Joel. Those really do feel like those great moments you got in the first Last of Us, which was what I was hoping more of. I was expecting so much more from Neil Druckmann. But honestly, he only cares about pushing this agenda very, very much down our throats. And it just does not sit well with me. The ending to the game is absolute shit. I fucking do not care for this ending. Wow. It's very hard to. I want to recommend this game just because of the graphics and the gameplay alone. But the other side of that, the story is absolute dog shit, and the characters, they don't feel right anymore. They just feel decent. The only character I give a fuck about is Ellie. That's literally it. Is Ellie. I don't give a damn about anyone else. I cared about Joel and I cared about Ellie. That's it. So the story takes the score down a bit. If this game had the story of The Last of Us Part 1, it would have been an easily 10 out of 10. Because if I were to review The Last of Us 1, it would be an easy 10 out of 10. The Last of Us Part 2 from me, and I know it's going to be a high score, and I know that, but I want to recommend it in different ways. I'm giving it a 7. The reason for that is because there was a lot of hard work was put into this game. The game, it feels fun to play. The game it looks pretty to look at to me. There are some elements of the story that can really drag you in. It pulls you into this world. but it drops from a 10 to a 7. Hell, if I replay it again, it could drop down to a 6. Who knows? But as of right now, the gameplay is what's really saving this game. Because the game feels immersive and makes you feel like you're in this fucking world, in this brutal world. The combat is so well done to me. The crafting system, I forgot to mention the crafting system. The crafting system is improved on from Last of Us 1. And I love that. And I love exploring the map. There are a lot of good things about this game, but to me, the biggest negative is its story, which is a shame because this is a story driven game. So, this is how I'm going to do this. If you're into the games just for gameplay and looks, Last of Us Part 2 is going to be your game. If you don't give a fuck about the story, it's easily your type of game. But if you cared about these characters and you love The Last of Us 1, which I did, but like I said, the reason why I'm giving it a 7 is because the gameplay really holds this game up. Like, even the people in my stream chat were like, yeah, this gameplay does look great. The gameplay really holds this game up. I would skip it if you really don't like what they did with the leaks. I would skip this game. I would still say play it just for the gameplay because, the team at Naughty Dog really did a great job doing the gameplay. The gameplay feels nice and fluent. It feels very responsive, and it's just great feeling. Like I said, the only thing that's saving this fucking game, it's its fucking gameplay, its graphics, its attention to detail. Like, the only really big flaw with this game is its story. I don't think, if everything else is good and one thing's bad, I don't think the game should suffer because of that. I think the game is a great game, but not a great story-driven game. It's a great game. Like, gameplay-wise, it's fucking great. Story-wise, it's absolute shit. So my final verdict for Last of Us Part 2 is a disappointing 7. It really disappointed me as a Last of Us fan, but the gameplay and the graphics and the attention to detail and the acting and everything really saves this game. So I would say rent it for a day, like rent it from Redbox or rent it from GameFly and just play it for a bit. And if the gameplay sucks you in, then it sucks you in. But do not pay $60 for this game. It's not worth the $60. I would say wait for a very deep sale or just rent the fucking game. Anyways, guys, that's my Last of Us Part 2 review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time.